Hey, it's your girl Barbie J. Welcome to my channel. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's other comedy drama, Zatima, Season 4, Episode 4, Obsession. And the synopsis for this episode reads, Zach and Fatima's dinner party ends on an awkward note. Bryce learns a lesson about racial discrimination in real estate, and Malachi is alarmed as Leslie's mania spirals out of control. And honey, this girl is losing it. I'm telling you, losing it. But before we get started, if you're new here or returning here and have not subscribed to this channel as of yet, please take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button. Then hit the notification bell and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you hit that like button, which is the thumbs up button, write a comment and join the conversation, and then share the video because sharing is caring and you want to help this sister's channel grow. And let me tell you, this sister appreciates everything you do for her. I do not take your kindness and your support of my channel for granted. I dearly care about all of you, and I appreciate you sticking through with me for all of these months and these years. Those of you who have been loyal to my channels, I really do appreciate you. Anywho, let's get started. So this episode starts with the dinner party that they're having, and Preston shows up with Deja. Fatima ain't trying to have it. Get her the F out of my house, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Zach about to get her out the house, and Deja says, okay, fine, I was going to tell you about my doula skills, but you know what? I won't tell you now. I'll just go home. And Fatima's like, wait, you're a doula? Like, yeah. And Angela's like, you was a doula? She's like, yeah. And she said, I worked with many babies. I helped deliver many babies or something like that. So Fatima changed her mind and let Deja stay. Zach was at the door when it opened for her to leave, but Fatima told her to stay. So while dinner's going on, Preston brings up the commercial space. Zach, and Bryce are talking about it. And Preston is saying how difficult it's going to be for them. And Fatima and Angela want to know why. And he's telling them, like, certain people, if they don't want you in, you can't get in. And he's like, what type of people? And he said, like, mafia type people. And Jack is like, you didn't say there was no mafia type discrimination. He's like, are you kidding me? Everybody's like shocked at the table. But Bryce makes some type of comment like that's the way things are or something like that. Like he doesn't realize that there's discrimination in real estate. And he said, like Zach is hard working and stuff. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps. And Fatima said, I didn't know you didn't bootstrap my man. You better check that. He said, no, what I'm saying is because he works so hard, he shouldn't fall into this racism cry. And Zach was about to say something. Fatima said, I got it. And she schooled Bryce right then and there at the table because he was acting like he don't have a clue. But she let him know he better get one. He better find one. He better ask for one. Anyway, so that conversation dies out. Bryce apologizes to both Preston and Zach, and then everybody moves on. So Preston is like, let's toast to our first business venture being successful. And they just said, that's right. Manifest that ish. We laughing and they laughing. And then Angela compliments Preston's gumbo. He says it's his granny's recipe. She said, I'm going to need granny's recipe. Then Deja was like, get your own man. And Preston's like, look, we are not dating. He said, I'm making this very clear. And then she said he's emotionally unavailable. He said, that's right, and I'm focused on my work. And Angela says, I'm emotionally unavailable as well. And Zach looks at Bryce and said, she made that very clear. Then Bryce started talking about he's not coming over there to do work for her. And she's like, why not? And Zach tells Angela that she ain't right to have, Bryce coming over there doing stuff for him because he's lovesick over her. And Fatima's telling him he shouldn't have agreed to be just Angela's friend if he couldn't handle it. Deja is like, this is depressing. Can I get my wine back? She said, because I need a drink. And Preston is saying, this shouldn't be depressing, but relationships are tough. And if they're not true, they could be even tougher. So then Angela and Fatima start asking Deja about being a doula. And Deja's like, a what? She all of a sudden she got amnesia. She ain't no doula at all. She was lying to them. And all Fatima sat there and said is, Zach, he said, I got it. He said, everybody, dinner is over. And it's like, get her out of here. She's like, get out of my house. It was too funny. But when they first came, Preston was like, I didn't know that y'all didn't get along, because he said that she was his date. That's why he was bringing her, because he thought everybody was, booed up. So he thought he should bring a date. But he's just helping her with learning how to ride horses. So as they are all leaving, all of a sudden you see Leslie at the window looking through, watching. And she's like, why did she have to steal my family, my friends, my family? And she's like, every time Fatima, she biting her fingers and punching herself in the head. I said, oh, she cuckoo crazy. She cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Y'all know what I mean? So now we have Leslie. She's sitting in the car calling Malachi, and he doesn't want to be bothered by her. We find out that they broke up 6 months ago, and he wants to know how she found this number of his. And she's like, why can't we just be friends? I just want to talk. And he says, well, I don't want to talk to you. And she's like, well, why? Because of her? And I'm sitting there going, now, is her supposed to be Fatima? And what does Fatima have to do with all of this right now? Because she sees that Fatima is with Zach now, not Malachi, and she's having a baby and everything. So I'm confused as what's going on. Somebody help me make this make sense, because it's not making sense to me. So he hears something when she's yelling or something on the phone, and he looks. He said, where are you? And she gets out of her car. She's in the parking garage of his job, which is the FBI building, and she's acting a fool. And she doesn't even care. She's like, I could be her for you. I could be her for you. And he's like, Leslie, please. And then he's like, are you pregnant? And she said, yes, I'm having your baby. He said, that's not my baby. She's like, why would you say that? He said, that's not my baby. It is your baby. He said, no, it's not. And she said, how could you say that? He said, because I can't have kids. I can't have any kids. She's like, what do you mean you can't have kids? He said, I knew I should have left your crazy behind a long time ago. And I mean, she just didn't even want to hear it. So she kept insisting that it was his baby. And he said, okay, I'm going to have it tested. She's like, okay, we could do that. He said, I'm going to have it tested in the womb. I ain't waiting till the child be born and be dealing with you all that time. She's like, you could do that? He's like, yes, that's what we could do. So then she's like, you're not going to take me home? Or you're not? He's like, no, get off of me. She pulling on him. He's like, get off of me. And he pushes her away, but not hard. And then she decides to use that opportunity to fall on the ground and say, oh. So he turned around and go pick her up. And then he goes to his car and she starts on him again. And this time he shoved her a little bit more and she hit the ground and he got in that car and drove her. She said, ow, ow, you might hurt the baby. You hurt the baby. Ow, baby, help. I was like, he don't even care about her anymore. I said, she needs help. She needs the straight jacket, something. Somebody get help for her because she is batshit crazy for real, for real. And then she gets home and she takes off her fake belly that we knew it was. And she puts it on this table. And there's a picture of Zach. And it looks like Zach and Connie. It does not look like Fatima. Somebody look at that picture again and tell me. That looks like Connie when he was sitting in the waiting room with her when his mother was in the hospital sick. Y'all remember that scene? I was like, where did she get these pictures from? This chick done lost it. Where did she get all those pictures from? And did y'all notice a lot of them are of Fatima's ex fiance? I think she was engaged to that guy before. Her ex-man, I don't remember what his name is. But I'm like, where did she get these pictures? Somebody explain it to me, please. Oh, crazy behind, sitting on the bed, looking all crazy with all these pictures up on the wall behind her, calling her a whore, and how did she do it, and all these little stickers posted around it, lawyer, and all of this stuff. So anyway, now we back to Zach and Fatima. They in bed and they having a conversation. Fatima's a little upset and perturbed that he didn't help out and that, he's not making time for his family. And she said when his baby comes, she wants to make sure he makes time for his family. And he's like, okay, because he told her the grind don't have no clock. And she's like, why are you always talking in these cliches? But he's letting her know, I'm grinding for our family. And, especially when she stops working, he needs to have money coming in. So she's upset, but he promises to make time. So they start making out again. And honey, there's a camera in the freaking room pointing right at their bed. And who's seeing it on the other end? Leslie. She in her bed masturbating as they having sex. And she's getting off and repeating all the things that Fatima's saying, like, oh, Zach, baby, oh, Zach. I said, oh, my Lord. I said, this girl got it bad. I don't even know if an insane asylum would help her right now. I mean, seriously, she is cuckoo crazy. And so now the episode ends with Zach having I was going to say a nightmare, but it's something that happened that we didn't actually get to see happen. But we saw how social services came and took Michael away. So when we all wondering where Michael was all this time, that's what happened. They came, somebody named Patricia, who we found out is Heather's aunt, filed a petition for full custody of little Michael. And this is totally messed up. I can't wait to see how she was able to do this. But this is how the episode ended. Y'all put it down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. And I will see you all in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It's your girl Barbie J saying peace.